Hello. Got my crochet ready. Well, if I have it the right way up, I'd do a lot better, wouldn't I? I need to sort out which row I'm on, and then I shall be with you shortly. Hello, Diane. I'm just sorting out which row I'm on. Oh, dear. Hi, Lydia. How are you doing? Just trying to find out which row I'm on. Dark purple is almost as bad as crochet in black, I've decided. I need another light here shining on my work. Right, I started the pineapple bit. So, I'll tell you this pattern. You're still at your mum's house. Oh, I'm glad he's healing up, yeah. I want him better for Christmas. Our knit club 90-year-old, she's fallen and broken her hip. So she's in hospital. So I know you're not watching, Alice, but if you were watching, I would wish you speedy recovery. Hi, Chrissy B. Right, just bear with me while I find out what row I'm on. I wish they gave me a chart. Yeah, she's 90, bless her, and there's not much of her, you know. She's only like a puff of wind to blow her over. Hi, Shad. That's the necklace today. 3 hearts. I could have worn, oh gosh, why do I always go the wrong way? I could have worn the one that's just arrived, actually. It arrived today. Could have worn that one. Yay. Oops, why do I go the wrong way? This one's cute, isn't it? It's all rings with balls. You excuse the expression. Bubbles. But I've got this one on, so I thought I'd leave it on. I can't work out that I'm back to front on the camera. I always go the wrong way. Yeah, this is 3 hearts with a big heart in between, which was dipping in my dinner when I was trying to eat my dinner. But right, let me have a look what I'm up to. Fan in the next. Single crochet in the loop. Oh. The picture doesn't look. Hi, Munchkin. Hiya. How are you doing? I'm trying to work out what this. I wish she'd do a chart and not just. I'm following the picture actually because her instructions are not very good. Hiya, Val. I'm still struggling, Val, with this flipping pattern. Right. Fan at the start of the next fan. 3 chains. Single crochet into the loop. 3 chain, repeat to end. Fan in next stitch, chain 3, fan in the next stitch. Yep. Yeah, it gives good luck to everybody, Chris. Like and subscribe, as they keep saying on everybody else's videos but mine. Do give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe. Do you like my new furry mittens? Woo, aren't they cute? Cute, cute, cute. Yeah. Yep. I'm onto the pineapple bit now. Oh my goodness me. 38 and had a heart attack. Oh, laws. Oh, I do hope he's okay. My son's limping. He's done something to his hip. He doesn't think he can go in work next week. Which isn't good because he doesn't get paid. Dory did it, squirrel raid. Hi, squirrels. Oh, God, you know, some guys, they do these things, they worry you to death, don't they? Yeah. My son can hardly walk with his blinking hip. And yet he went and picked up his new motorbike. Don't ask me what kind it is. I don't know. But he's paying for it now. Another grey hair. It's a wonder you don't have a head full. Yeah. I don't know. The young ones seem to be getting heart attacks these days, don't they? The younger ones. Oh, Janet, will you do what you're told? Oh, gosh, that's scary. If his dad died at 48, that's scary. Just before, oh, I know things happen at every time of the year and they're awful at every time of the year, but when they happen at Christmas, don't you think it seems far worse? I mean, our 90-year-old that's broke a hip, you know, it's always before Christmas. Oh, you haven't put a damper on everything. Don't worry about it. No. It's worrying at any time of the year, but Christmas especially, because you're thinking, will he be in hospital for Christmas? Oh, dear. Well, that's what I would be thinking about. I keep thinking about our 90-year-old, thinking, will she be in hospital over Christmas? Not good at all. Good evening, Connie. Are you all ready for Christmas apart from Munchkin? I'm not. I've not got anything ready, not done anything, and I don't think I'm going to bother. I think I'll give myself Christmas off this year. Hi, Yolanda. I'm just not in the mood at all. You know, we've got the tree up. I don't know if you can see it over. We've got the tree up glittering its little head off over there. But it still hasn't put me in the mood for Christmas, yeah. Well, you won't be, will you? You're more bothered about your son than bothering about Christmas presents. I know if it was my son, I would be too. I would be thinking, no, Christmas is cancelled as far as I would be concerned, yeah. Oh. Ah. Oh, I wish there was a chart with this. I'm sorry to moan on about it, but I'm sure I'm not doing it right. I've got such a lot to do to finish this. Oh, well, and I've got sleeves to do as well. I can see this being not done. I'll be like me mum. I can remember one year she tried her best to finish off a sweater for my ex-husband. Well, I was still with him at the time. He wasn't my ex-husband at the time. And she couldn't finish it, so she wrapped it up with a needle still sticking in it and said, hey, I'll finish it off. So he got it about a week after Christmas, I think he got it, yeah. But she just didn't have time to finish it. She was busy in the shop and everything. Yes, we'll all send vibes across for Munchkin's son. So all these good vibes will be coming his way. So hopefully it will help, yeah. I'm a firm believer in putting things out to the universe, you know, the power of whatever. I won't say prayer because not everybody's religious. The power of wishful thinking, good thoughts, that kind of thing, yeah. I think that works. Yeah. Well, we've just had little Teddy. That's the youngest. Well, he's the only great grandson actually. We've just had Teddy. They've been to some kind of a show, winter show or something. Anyway, he's gone home now. He disappeared shouting, "Bye, Grandpa! Bye, Grandma!" uh, oh, the pineapples. I've done pineapples a lot. I've done, you know, the Blue Curacao shawl by Doris Chan such a lot, but she does at least give you a chart. And no, I'm not in the Christmas spirit either, Yolanda, and I haven't got the problems that Munchkin's got. But I'm just not in the mood this year. I don't know why. I just can't rally at all. I mean, normally I don't get in the mood until, you know, maybe a couple of weeks before Christmas, but this year, no. I've even been out to 2 Christmas dinners and I've still not been in the mood yet. But my family, I mean, I know I've got family here, but my own family, my brother's family, they'll all be in London this year, so. And they're all in Manchester. Well, they're in Manchester and London now, so I just don't see them like I used to. I used to look forward to Christmas at my brother's house, but of course. Do I have a real tree? No, no, it's a silvery one. We had a real tree a couple of years when I was younger, but oh gosh, don't they drop? You're forever hoovering up needles. I'm going to get a nice candle. I've got a candle lit now, but it's not a Christmas smell candle, if you know what I mean. I like the Christmas smell candles. They put you in the mood, don't they, more? When it's smelling of whatever. But I can't, I don't know what's wrong with me this year. Just not in the mood. Plus the fact, you know, I can't crochet for long because my hand starts to hurt. And I know it's not, well, I don't want it to be operated on before Christmas, to be quite frank. I don't fancy trying to eat my dinner with one hand, you know. But I'm sure it'll be the new year at the earliest before I get called in. But my son not being able to walk, he's like, everywhere he goes. He's done something to his hip. He hasn't broken it. And it isn't arthritis and it isn't a pinched nerve. But I'm thinking it's something like what I had once upon a time. It was like what they call a bursa. Very hard to diagnose because it's like a blister that goes in between your hip joint. And if it's not there, they can't see it on the x-ray and they go up and down. They're like almost like a cyst that fills up with water. And eventually I had it broken up by ultrasound because if they don't break the sac, it just keeps filling up again. So I've got a feeling that's what he's got because the way he's describing the pain, it just sounds like that. Yeah, I've got a pain. I don't know whether it's my back or whether it's my hip. I don't think I want to know, to be quite honest, Chris. When you get to my age, you're thinking, oh, hey ho, what else can go wrong, you know? I've got a pain to the right-hand side of my spine, and I think that's from the hip, but hey ho. I'm really not one for running to the GP every 5 minutes, you know, I really am not. And I should at my time of life, I should get things sorted. I got told off by the handman for not going before. He said, why didn't you come before? You've left it while it's almost too late. You're losing the power and the use of your thumb. But I don't like mithering people, you know. I'm not one of them like, oh, my little finger hurts, I need to dash to A&E, you know. A wood wick candle, I've not heard of that, Shad. Do they last longer? Are they sort of natural or what are they? Mine always burn in the middle and leave all the, you know, you get them and they're in a glass jar, aren't they? And they burn in the middle, and then you get all this wax left all around the outside that doesn't burn. You only ever burn half a candle, really. And it really annoys me. I feel like I'm wasted half my money. I've got an oil burner. I suppose I could scrape the rest of the candle and stick it in the oil burner. In fact, I've got an oil burner up there, that white thing there. It's electric. You plug it in and it just goes poof, poof every now and again. I used to have it when I was down at my other house. Everybody used to say, are you on fire? Because they could see this smoke sort of drifting past. But I haven't plugged it in since I've been here. I don't know why. Now, I was burning a candle in a glass jar last night, and all of a sudden there was this like crack. And the blinking glass thing's splintered and cracked. It's going to have to go in the bin. But I'm always wary of putting glass in the bin. I'm always frightened that somebody will cut their hand on it. Well, luckily nobody was near it, and it just went crack, and it just cracked right down the centre. They don't make candles like they used to. They don't make anything like they used to. Hi, Esther. Well, I haven't been out, so I don't know if it's cold. I stayed in all day today. So the wood splutters. It's not been raining, I don't think, anyway. I don't think it's been raining. I just haven't been outside, Esther. I was going to go to my friend's to deliver some baby cardigans that I'd made, well, toddler cardigans. I just didn't feel like going out. Am I right? Was when it comes to cold weather. I just get myself hunkered down and, you know, got the fire. Yeah, the fire's going, I think. Better have a look at it because the fan's not whizzing round. Better make sure it's still alive. Stay. Might have to open the door on the fire. Oh dear, it's nearly out. I'll leave the door open a bit. I'm wearing my sweater today. I used a pattern. Normally I do my own, as you know. And it was top down, and it will keep doing this business. Obviously it's not right. I do better when I don't have a pattern. Tell you about it. You've got a lively border collie. Oh, now the fire's going bonkers. It looked half dead. I've opened the door partly, and now it's going bananas. Yeah, it's, what is it? Boho Signet. That's what it is. So I started top down, but I don't know why it just doesn't fit right at all. It's just not a good fit. I won't be doing this pattern again. I'll do my own. Oh. Right, the fire's going now, I think. Let's put a bit of wood on. I need to get the chimney swept. I've had a memo that it's time to sweep the chimney, but to be quite honest, it's been all expense just recently. Buy this, buy that, buy the other. It's like my glasses, they're going to have to wait until the new year. You've only got a certain pot of money. You can't do it all at once, can you? You have to budget, as they say. You know, it must be nice, mustn't it, to just go shopping and not have to budget. I went shopping with my son the other day. Hi, only me. I said to him I need to get some biscuits and sweets and that. Not for me, only for me, for the whole family. So he took me shopping. So I got some tins and stuff and things. So I put them in the Christmas cupboard. Do you have a Christmas cupboard? We have a Christmas cupboard. And I stocked up on me bottles, me booze. Oh, I've got an advert running. I don't drink much, as you know, but I do like... I only buy once a year. And I mean, to be quite honest, I've got a couple of full bottles from last year that I've never even touched. I'm not much of a drinker, as you know. But I do like Bailey's Irish Cream, if you know what that is. Well, I don't buy the Bailey's, I buy the cheaper one. I like a drop of that in my coffee. I don't know, that's why I'm not booked him. Because to be quite honest, you know, money's... As per usual, I'm not on my own, I'm not just moaning, it's a general thing, isn't it? We're always a bit tight for Christmas, for money, aren't we? If it's going to cost £80, it's going to have to wait till the new year. Got me Frida Kahlo mug. I'm sure it'll wait until then. Give me time to recuperate my money a little bit. It's only money. Oh, yeah. It's only just, we only got it this week. It's not like they told us ages ago it needed sweeping. We got a reminder this week. We need to boot one. But I think, you know, it's going to have to wait a couple of weeks until after Christmas, I think. You know, till I get my next lot of pension in. You know, my Christmas bonus, my extra £10. It's been £10, the Christmas bonus, since I was 60. And I'm 78 now. You think they would have put it up by now, wouldn't you? I mean, at one time, £10 would have bought you Christmas dinner, wouldn't it? But now, you're lucky if it bought you a couple of coffees now. I don't know. Everything around here seems to cost more. Yeah. Yeah, well, I buy some nice chocolate biscuit. As you know, I'm diabetic and shouldn't be eating them anyway. But I like to buy a tin of sweets, you know, for everybody to share. I'm not talking about just me. And a box of chocolates and some chocolate biscuits and also some biscuits for cheese. Yeah. I like to get those in. Because, you know, you traditionally, you nibble more at Christmas, don't you? Yeah, £10 unfortunately doesn't buy anything anymore, does it? As I said, at one time, £10 would have bought you your Christmas dinner. It would have got you your, well, perhaps not your turkey, but I prefer to. Well, I will get a chimney sweep under me. I will. It's just I'm just hanging fire like over Christmas, really. You know, I just want to, because traditionally you don't buy a lot after Christmas because you bought so much before. Yeah. So usually January I can recoup a little bit money wise, you know, for what I've spent over Christmas. So yeah. Yeah, I like cheese at Christmas. I don't eat a lot of cheese for snacking because I have an issue with dairy, but surprisingly enough, with a lot of cheese, I'm fine. But I do like snacky things at Christmas. I don't know why. It's not something I would buy all through the year. I wouldn't buy cheese biscuits and cheese. But for somehow or another at Christmas, I think, there's snacky things. Yeah, snacky bits. It's like the mince pies you always buy, isn't it? Yeah. And the Christmas cake and stuff like that nobody ever eats, you know. Yeah, I'm supposed to be going to another Christmas party lunch down in Cleveland's on Wednesday. There's my fire spitting at me. So I might call into Marks and Spencer's and get some little, you know, just a small bit of cake. Not actually a Christmas cake, but just a small, you know, fruit cake or something, yeah. I'm not paying the price of a Christmas cake when nobody eats it. I mean, you're paying for it being iced, aren't you, and being all fancy and everything. And most people just eat the fruit cake anyway. So you might as well just buy a little block of fruit cake and have done with it because it's only a fraction of the price of a Christmas cake, yeah. Where am I from? Well, I'm actually from Royton, which is near Oldham in Lancashire. But I'm living now in Fleetwood. Yeah, that's where I'm from. But I'm not from here, if you know what I mean. I'm a comer in. Yeah, I was born in a little place called Royton. It's only a small place. Well, it's grown now, but it was only small when I lived there. You know, the kind of place where everybody knew everybody, yeah. Oh, thank you, Yolanda. Everybody give me a thumbs up. Oh, yeah, my fire's been, it's more than 12 months, but it's not 2 years. So, you know, well, it does get used all the time over the winter, but it didn't get used at all over the summer. But I will have it swept. It's just, I'm just thinking about my purse, you know, being a bit careful with the money, like we all are at this time of year. Well, we've got a recommendation from the people who fitted our fire, so they're the ones who recommended it, so we'll see where we go. Hello, John. How are you? What's the weather like in Ireland? Yeah, my friend in Scotland's got a wood burner. Yeah. Right, let's see what my next row is. Turn the page. Oh, I've run out of that one now. I couldn't staple them all together because there was 29 pages and it was too much for me to staple, so I'm on to the next little bit. Right. Fan in the 3 chain space and a fan in the other. Yeah. Right. Oh, I wish they'd give me a chart. Do anybody else like charts? I do like a chart to make sure, especially when it's something like this and you can make sure you're going right. Yes, it is. She was wearing a black one today, actually, when she went out. That's what I'm making, and I wouldn't recommend this pattern to anybody. That's what I'm making. But the pattern is £11. It's 27 pages long. It's got no tension square, no anything, no rows. Oh, well, I hope they don't ban them. I mean, they're banning what you can burn, aren't they? But then, I mean, I'm that old. I've lived through the when they banned coal, and we all had to burn coke and smokeless fuel and stuff. I mean, you're limited with what kind of. Oh right, okay, Chris. So you get it sorted. You know, you can only burn certain kinds of wood. You can't just burn any old thing. You know, because of the fumes and stuff. But oh God, am I ever not taking orders for this? I tell you. Well, it's nearly been raining since July here, yeah. Right, oh gosh, do I do a chain in between or do I do, oh gosh, fan, chain one, yeah. It, it wouldn't be if the pattern was written properly. It might have 27 pages, but it's one of the worst patterns I've used. I mean, plus the fact I crochet in UK terms and this is a US pattern, and plus the fact that I can't get the tension right because she's a very loose crocheter, as she admits. And I'm actually on a bigger hook than I should be, and I still can't get gauge. So I'm not enamoured with this pattern at all. So I'm not recommending it to anybody, especially not at £11. £11? You can get a book for that. I should have known better because I bought one of her patterns once before and it was for a hooded cape and I could not get it to work out size-wise. It would have fitted a doll. And as I said before, I'm quite a loose crocheter. I'm not a tight crocheter at any stretch of the imagination. And when I said something to a friend of mine, she goes, oh, God, I can't get them to work out either. She said, she's such a loose crocheter. She said, you know, mine came out way too small. I went, yeah, exactly. I'd love to know what kind of yarn people use or, you know, what hook they actually use, if they manage to get the things to turn out. Well, I'm not usually too bad, only me, at doing things. Once I get my act together, but I would really prefer a chart, if I'm honest about it. Do 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 do. It's because it's so big, it goes all the way across, you know. I must admit, I had to work out how many, you know, pineapples were going across while I was quiet, because I couldn't have done that. Yeah. Yeah, I taught myself. There was no such thing as YouTube back in my day because I'm that old. I had to teach myself out of a book, and it wasn't easy. And then when I did learn how to do it, my aunt, who was a fantastic crocheter, she pulled me up and said, "You'll never crochet that way. Never in a million years, the way you're holding your hook." Because I was what I call shoveling it and then wrapping the wool round and then pulling it through. So she made me hold it her way. And oh, for ages I couldn't do it. And I'm like, "I can't do it that way, Auntie." And she kept saying, "Trust me, by the time you learn it thy way, it'll make a big difference on how fast you can crochet." And she was right, yeah. No, I'm not too bad. Don't forget, I used to crochet when I was in the shop. And knit while I was in the shop. And, you know, customers were coming in all the time and I was putting it down in the middle of a row. And, you know, I had to learn how to, you know, follow a pattern without a pattern, if you know what I mean. That's why I'm not a fan of patterns that tell me every single row and tell me the stitch count at the end of every row. It's what I call oversharing, overtelling, yeah. I feel like they think I'm thick or something, you know. You know, they'll say you have 47 stitches, right, decrease 2 at the end of the row. You will now have 44, 46 stitches. And I'm like, yeah, no, don't tell me. Don't tell me stupid things like that. I can count. I know if you decrease in one, you don't have 47 anymore, you have 46. You don't have to tell me. And then they do the next row. You have now got 45. And I'm like, oh, stop it. Just say decrease in this manner until you've got 34. Leave me alone. I don't have too many hobbies. That's my problem. I'm going to sit down with myself and teach myself properly to do Tunisian in the new year. I can do basic stitches, but I need to practice tension. I can't get my tension with Tunisian. Yeah. Notice Tunisian, not Tunisian. Tunisian. Yeah. I don't know why when people say Tunisian, it sets my teeth on end. Oh gosh, there's a lot more talented people than me. The ones who do all those like patterns in crochet. My friend's daughter, she's only learned to crochet not 12 months ago, right? And she's just made her mum a blanket, if I can find it. See if I can find it. Hang on, no, that's not what you're doing, Janet. Oh, this phone. Right, I found her. Bear in mind, her daughter has only been crocheting for about 12 months. Look at that. Look at that. I couldn't do that. Well, I probably could, but I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Flipping egg. As I say, she's only been crocheting not 2 years yet. I know people who've been crocheting forever and couldn't do that. I don't think I could, actually. I have done colour work, yeah, I have done it. But it's not something I rush into. I mean, my friend's done a lot of those in Scotland. She's done a lot of those Janie Crow, the ones that are all like flowers in squares, fantastic. She's made a lot of blankets and things. I bought 2 books when I went to a knitting fair, but I finished up giving them to her because I knew she'd use them and I wouldn't. Thought there was no point me leaving them on my shelf, just to admire them and look at them, because I know I'd never make them. I don't have the patience. Certainly not for blankets, I don't have the patience. I've made a throw in granny squares, and that was a labour of love. Oh, it used to drive my ex-husband bonkers. What do I like to crochet? Garments. I don't like crocheting anything but garments. It has to be something to wear when I crochet. I can't see the point of a million blankets, unless you're crocheting for a baby, of course. To me, there's only so many blankets you can use, unless you've got a plan to give them all away, which, hello, I like to spend, weeks of my life just to give things away. No. No, it has to be wearables as far as I'm concerned, yeah. I'm not into doilies and amigurumis and stuff like that. Oh, my fire's going bonkers now. With amigurumis, anyway, you have a job you're not really supposed to sell them unless you've got a... Besides crochet, what do? I can read. I read. Sometimes I knit. But really, I don't have any other hobbies. I wish I did. I used to like jigsaws, but now because of my back and my neck, I can't bend over. It hurts me. Oh, Stephen West, yeah. He only knits though, doesn't he? I don't think he crochets, does he? I can't knit shawls because, as you know, I can't use them wiggly circular needles. And you can't fit all those stitches onto a pair. I just cannot knit on circular needles. I can't knit on the bendy things, yeah. That's why I crochet shawls, yeah. Oh, Stephanie West. I don't know Stephen West. Who's Stephanie West? I mean, his knitting patterns are gorgeous. I mean, a friend of mine, Denise Deer, she knits a lot of his shawls and that. But give me 600 stitches on a worm, oh no. I can do crocheting, shawl, but not knit. It's just the way you were taught. You meant Stephen, yeah. I just got to say, I've not heard of a Stephanie. My favourite knitter of all time was Caffer Fassett. Did you ever see the work he did? It was all what we used to call Fair Isle. They now call it colour work, don't they? He did the most fantastic things. Every row would have about 12 colours going on it, Somebody bought me a book of his, but I never made anything out of it. It was too complicated for me. I've done Fair Isle sweaters, but they've only really had a couple of colours per row, Do you ever remember that wool? I think they called it Lochinvar, and it was multicoloured. And you used to do fair art or colour work. You used to use the base colour like a white or a beige or a grey, and you used to just do the stitches in this multicoloured yarn, and it used to make really nice patterns. Yeah. All right, see you later, Dorney. I think it was called Locking Bar. It was Listers did it. You could do it, I suppose, with it. You know, if you had a short. It was only short change. You know, you couldn't do it with anything that was long change. But you could do it with the short change colours. I did paint by numbers when I was little, well, younger, but and I can't abide that diamond painting stuff. Sorry, but I just don't like them. You know, I can understand somebody making one, but some people, you know, they make hundreds of the things. They have them all over the house. They give them everybody. I'm sure everybody, their relatives must be absolutely sick to death of getting the present of her. It's like when everybody did cross stitch. And everybody used to get these little cross stitch pictures, didn't they? You know, you didn't know what to do with them, did you? You know, one, yeah, it's fine, you can stick it in a corner, but when people used to give them you 2 and 3 times a year, you're like, what do I do with them now? Yeah, Caffafacity was a fantastic. And then there was another one, she was called something Roberts. She used to do all these like gorillas and pictures on everything. She was down in Covent Garden. Her books were terribly expensive. But I did have one. And I knitted, she used to do them all in mohair. I knitted the one with a big monkey on the back, a big gorilla, I think it was, with a palm tree. And I did the one with the willow pattern. Do you remember the willow pattern? And then there was the country scene that everybody did, where there was horses and cows or whatever, sheep. And then, of course, there was the sheep jumper that Lady Diana had. Everybody made a sheep jumper. Yeah, I had a wool shop there. Gosh, everybody used to come in. Do you have that sheep jumper pattern? The worst one, of course, was when Dallas and Dynasty were on. They used to wear the most fantastic sweaters, but they weren't hand knitted. They were all designer originals. They probably cost thousands of pounds. And people would come in and say, "Did you see that sweater that whatever she was, Alexis had on Saturday? Did you have the pattern?" Like, no, no, we don't have the pattern. I'm sure it was designed by some designer and cost thousands of pounds. Yeah. Yeah, I used to do painting by numbers when I was a kid. But I lost the interest after that. And I used to like those dressy up dolls. You know, you got them, you cut them out, they were like a cardboard doll. And they had clothes in paper, didn't they? You had to cut round, and they had little tabs where you bent them over the shoulders and round the waist. I used to love them. I used to get my auntie to buy me one nearly every week, and my dad used to go mad because he was the one who had to cut the things out. Well, my favourite hobby was a kid when I had a teenage doll. Long, long before Barbie or Cindy. It was just a teenage doll. And I used to make clothes. No, I think the boys did knitting in our classes as well. I don't think the boys left the class. I think they had to do the knitting and the sewing, yeah. Yeah, I think I've got one somewhere in the bookcase that I've never cut out. The paper dolls, yeah. And then I used to draw around the dolls and design my own clothes and cut them and paint them all in. I wanted to do fashion design when I was younger, but I never did. I would have loved to have been a Tressie. No, they were after me. I'm a lot older than Tressie. Tressie came after me, I think. It's like the dolls that wet and cried and stuff like that. They were after me as well. My dolls didn't do anything much at all. They just started bringing out the dolls with the soft bodies. I've heard of Tressie dolls, but they were a different generation to me. You'd probably have to be in your 50s maybe to have a Tressie doll. Oh yeah, they used to do that. Barbie doll or Cindy doll, didn't they, with hair that grew as well? Yeah. Do you remember those heads that you could buy that you were supposed to learn how to be a hairdresser? Yeah. It came with a load of rollers, didn't it? I never had one. That again was too young. Yeah, well, I've got nearly 10 years on you. I'm 78. Yeah. Oh, our English dolls were all like little rosebud dolls. And oh, there was one like Princess Anne, a Princess Anne doll. I wanted one of them, but I never got one. That was a rosebud doll, I think. Yeah, she had blonde curls and she was meant to look like Princess Anne. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'd probably just grown out of dolls by the time Tressies came out. Yeah. Because I don't remember Barbies and Cindy's except with my nieces had them. You used to play with the cutout dolls. They're great, aren't they? I used to like designing my own clothes for them. Like I said, painting them. You drew around the doll, didn't you? Remembering to put the little tags, to bend them over the shoulders and around the waist. Yeah, I used to design all kinds of clothes for them. My mother was convinced I was going to be a fashion designer. I was about 6 at the time, yeah. I used to cut the dolls out of the catalogues as well. We never had a catalogue, but the girl next door, she was much, much older than me. She was probably a teenager when I was a little kid. And her mum used to have catalogues, and she used to let me have the old catalogue when she'd done with them, yeah. Yeah, you had to stick them on cardboard, didn't you? Otherwise they'd just rip. Yeah, I used to find, if I could find a full-length picture in the catalogue, I used to cut round that and stick it onto cardboard. Turn that into a mannequin. They were better if they were only wearing a bikini or underwear, but then they would only be part of you wouldn't get the legs with them, not usually. Or they'd be standing at a funny angle, so you'd have to go through the whole catalogue to find one that would do, yeah. I used to design all little knitted things for my dolls, yeah. Only the little dolls, not the big dolls. And I had a little doll, she was only about that big. She was a baby doll, and I used to make her blankets, and my dad made her a little cot, a little cot. She was only about 5 inches long. And I used to make her all baby things and baby matinee jackets and leggings and things. All without a pattern, because, of course, there never was any patterns when I was little. I think that's where I get me I do it my way from. Because when I learned to crochet started being all the rage, but only in the boutiques, never in the patterns, you know. You were supposed to buy them ready-made up. Oh, the peg dolly knitting. Yeah, the circular knitting, yeah. They still sell those, you know. And I used to use my mum's close pegs. Not the spring close pegs, the ones that were like just like that with a bobble on the top. You know, that just used to slot onto the clothesline. I used to make clothes for them, and then I used to get really annoyed because my mum would want to peg her washing out and she'd rip all the clothes off them that I'd made. And I used to say, stop doing that. She said, well, stop using my pegs to make dolls with. I used to paint little faces on them, yeah. Little pipe cleaners for arms, yeah. My mother used to go mad because she couldn't peg her washing out. I used to say, well, let me have some of my own then. Buy me some of my own. My mother had no patience. She used to call them doll rags. It used to get on my nerves. I said, they're not doll rags. They're clothes from the dollies. They're not doll rags. She could never see the point of them, the purpose of them at all, my mother. I had a lovely auntie that used to, she knitted me a full layout for one of my baby dolls. Beautiful it was. It was all in blue. And she did it in fine yarn, and it was all lacy, a little dress, matinee jacket, booties, the lot. And I absolutely loved it. And my mother's like, she's stupid, your Auntie Rosalie. She's making you stuff like that. She's got more time than sense. And yet I absolutely loved that little layout. And she made me a little blanket as well for the pram. I treasured that more than any present I got at Christmas. Yeah, I only had a boy, you see, and you can't interest a boy, can you, in making stuff? Although I used to make all his stuff for his Action Man. I had a lady knocking on my door one day saying, can you tell me where you bought the pyjamas from? For Action Man. She said, my son's been driving me mad and I've been everywhere. And nobody has pyjamas for Action Man. I said, well, I sewed them, I made them. And I made him a guardsman outfit as well, complete with a bear skin, you know, and the lot. Well, the Action Man clothes were too expensive. You know, everything was way, way expensive for me. I think that's probably why I started making things. Because we never had the money to buy things ready-made. I don't think there were ready-made dolls' clothes, but they were terribly, terribly expensive. My mum was extremely crafty, but she earned her living with it. She would knit on a knitting machine. She would knit socks and she would knit garments and everything. She wasn't much of a crocheter, my mum, but she was a knitter, yeah. But she was very practical, my mum. She never made anything what I could call airy-fairy or fashionable. She used to just make practical things, my mum. Oh, gosh, yes. I mean, at one time it was always much, much cheaper, you know, to go and get a yard of material and make your own things, yeah. But now, I mean, flipping out the price of material for fabric these days. You know, you're like, how much, yeah? Oh, gosh. We had something that they will never have, Yolanda. We had imagination. You know, you could play for hours imagining things. Kids today just don't seem to have that ability to imagine things. I mean, I read The Borrowers, you know, like the borrowers of field, the borrowers, whatever. And I really was convinced we had little people living in the house. I don't mean mice, I mean little people. And I used to make up little stories in my head about where they were living. And I used to make things out of cotton bobbins, you know, for these will do for the borrowers when they come, you know, they could have this for a seat. And I put a padding on it, you know, and sew round it. That's why I was heartbroken when Mum's, you know, sold my dolly's house, because that's why I've got another one now. It's in the house now, ready to be painted. But I'm not going to start it till in the new year. Not before Christmas, I'm not starting it, and not before I get my hand fixed. Yeah, kids. I mean, my son had a brilliant imagination. He was great. He used to have a garage, you know, with the cars. And I'd hear him and he'd be talking away there and he'd be saying, you know, like, what's wrong with your car today, Bill? Oh, I think it's this, I think it's that. Oh, get it up on the ramp then. And he'd be having this little conversation with himself. And I think it's because he was an only child, you know. He had to sort of use his imagination. But then again, I used to sit with him and play with him. And I taught him how to use his imagination, you know. We used to make little scenarios up, you know. Oh, look at this, the house is on fire, you know, we need to get the fire engine, and then we'd do the noise of the clanging fire engine, and we. I used to lie on the floor with him and play with him for hours. But today's mums, no, they can't be bothered, they're too busy on their phone. You know, they don't teach the children how to use their imagination, yeah? Right, we're on the next row. Extended fan in the next stitch. Fan in the next one. Single crochet in a little loop. Fan in the next fan. 3 extended fan in the next stitch. Oh gosh, let me look at my picture. See what I mean? She doesn't explain things really well. She doesn't even tell me how to do an extended fan. I had to find that out for myself. Right, let me look at my picture. Aha, I see. See, I'm doing better looking at the picture than I am with her instructions. Right, I know what I'm doing now. I mean, I wasn't an only child, but in effect I was, because my brother was 9 years older than me. And of course he was a boy. I haven't written to her yet. No, I'm going to do that. She gave me her phone number, my friend. But I've got such a lot of catching up to do. And, the pattern is hard work. You're right, Connie. It's not one I'm going to rush into doing again, that's for sure. I've got such a lot of catching up to do with my friend, because I've not seen her for so long, that even though she gave me her phone number, I thought, well, she's probably a busy person and I don't want to hog her up for about 3 hours while we catch up, if you know what I mean. So I thought the best thing to do is write and bring her up to date with about 6 pages, you know, of where I am in my life since I last spoke to her. And then that sort of clears the deck, doesn't it, for us to then have a phone conversation, if you're with me. So I was going to maybe do it over Christmas sometime. I'll write to her, you know, send her a Christmas card. And it's not very well written, Connie, this pattern. That's what the trouble is. A lot of people who crochet don't write the best patterns. Does that sound a bit silly? They can be lovely crocheters and they can make lovely designs, but they don't seem to have the knack of getting what they actually mean over to the person that's buying the pattern. I mean, the older patterns are much better written. Yeah, my bridesmaid, yes. I got a text message from her. Was it yesterday or the day before? She's given me her address and her phone number, but I thought I would write to her first because I've got several years of what's been happening to me to catch up, yeah. We always used to write to each other, Shad, because she had a very, very busy life and so did I, you know. I don't think a robot will ever take over crochet. A robot can take over knitting, but they have not yet invented a machine that crochets. Hopefully it will be finished. Hopefully. I've only got this to do. I was more struggling trying to get the size right, but now I've got the size right. I'm all right now. It'll be funny with the sleeves. I'll have to make the sleeves up as... How did I find her? It was quite by chance. You know how you accidentally come across things online? And it was a house that was for sale in Wales. And I thought, that address rings a bell. I'm sure that is an address that she used to have because I'd lost touch with her because she'd moved house. I moved house, all her letters and stuff, I'd lost them as in the move and everything, so I lost her address completely. So this address rang a bell, and I thought, that sounds familiar. So I rang the estate agent up who had the house for sale, and she said, oh no, that's not the name of the people who are selling the house. So I said, oh, so, I'm sorry. I said, thank you for looking anyway. And I explained to her, I said, it's my best friend through school, my bridesmaid, trying to get a hold of her, lost touch with her, blah, blah, blah. She said, do you know, that name is ringing a bell, the name you're telling me. She said, leave it with me and I'll ring you back. And I thought, well, I won't hear from her ever again. Anyway, she rang me back a bit later on and she said, I knew that name rung a bell. She said they were the people who sold the house to the people who are now selling the house. Yeah. So they had actually lived in the house, but like years before. But this address had stuck in my mind. Yeah. She said, I've still got an email for them. She said, I can't tell you anything. I said, look, I know you can't for confidentiality. I know you can't. I said, but will you do me one big favour? Will you email her and tell her that I'm looking for her and give her my phone number? She did that. Anyway, months have gone by, never heard a thing. So I thought, oh, she's either not bothered or she's not got the message or whatever. Anyway, quite out of the blue, I thought it was yesterday, the day before, I got a phone text message saying, oh, how lovely to hear from you. I believe you're trying to find me. And I was like, so, because she was my best friend all through school. We started school, well, the big school, you know, the senior school, on the same day. Two little lost little souls that knew nobody. And we sort of clung together, you know what I mean? Bye, Yolanda. So we sort of bonded on the first day at school. And we stayed friends all the way through. Although she went to university and I didn't, but we still stayed in touch. But as years go by, we just lost touch. So I just thought, wouldn't it be nice to get in touch with her again? So I have. After about 6 pages, catching up with my life, yeah. And hope I hear back from her. Well, I've done one pineapple, and I think I've got one. I think I've got 2.5 or 3 pineapples to do to the bottom. So I'm getting there, getting there. Getting there, look, I've done one. Hold it up the right way, Janet. I've got one complete pineapple done. Well, I will have when I finish this row. I love doing this pineapple stitch, though. I do a pattern called the Blue Curacao Shawl. It's by Doris Chan, my favourite designer of all time. Sadly, she's not designing anymore. She must be about 80 now. She's probably given it up. But all of her designs fit. Yeah. You know, they do fit. They fit well. And she does bust shapings. You know, this, obviously, I've got this. Look, it's doing it again. Getting this lump here. She puts bust shapings in her patterns, Doris Chan. I must admit, when I first got her book, oh gosh, did I struggle. I really struggled. And one of my friends says, "Who's this Japanese woman you keep swearing at?" And when people say to me, "Oh, yeah, have you got," I say, you know, she's an acquired art. You either like Doris Chan or you don't, yeah. But I do, yeah. The one designer I can't get to grips with, and I've got 3 of her books, is Christine Omdahl. She uses very fine yarn on a very big hook. And I can't get it to look right. It looks like a dishcloth whenever I do anything. I'm not very good with a big hook and thin yarn, if you know what I mean. Unless it's a shawl, of course. But she does the most fantastic lacy garments, Christine Omdahl. And they are beautiful. And I've got 3 of her books, but I've never got to grips with any of them. But yet, Doris Chan, I've done, well, her first 2 books, I've done most things in them. Her last book I couldn't get to grips with because a lot of it was broomstick crochet. And I can't get that to work out right for me. I think it's a tension thing. She does a lot of Tunisian as well in that last book she did. But everybody stops me when I'm wearing the Doris Chan. Everybody stops me and says, "Oh, that's gorgeous, that cardigan or jacket or jumper or whatever. Where did you get the pattern?" You can still get the patterns if you look about. You know, you get them on these sort of vintage sites or Etsy or eBay or something. But you can't buy a single leaflet. You've got to buy the book. Because she has a habit of skipping about. She'll say, you start off a sweater and she'll say, right, go to page such a thing, do from row so-and-so to so-and-so of the cardigan. So you're like, flicking through the... That's what drove me nutty at first until I got used to the way she did things. But Sue, if you remember Sue was a great fan of Doris Chan as well. I actually got a crochet hook sent to me from Doris Chan when I was 70. Haven't used it because it's a tulip one with a big blob on the end of it. That's maybe why my crocheting is a lot tighter than a lot of American designers, because they use a buoy which has got a blob on the end. Maybe it makes their stitches a lot bigger, I don't know. Whereas I use an inline hook. So maybe it makes a difference to my tension. Yeah. But hey ho. I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make up. Do you remember me getting some Lurex yarn? I got some red and I got some emerald green. Yeah. That'll be the next thing I do. Well, I'm not very popular today. I've only got 20 people in my channel. I'm not loved anymore. Well, I knew that anyway. When I watch these people who say, oh, I'm growing my channel, I'm growing it to 15,000, or I'm growing it to whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I'd be lucky if I grew it by 100. My channel never grows. I think I told you that before. Because I don't do giveaways and I don't do all the things that attract people. I am boring, am I good? I know. But I never have like new yarn to show you, or new books to show you, or new things I've made. You know, a lot of the people whose channels are, they're just very prolific with the crocheting, and they obviously have more money than I do, so they're buying stuff all the time and doing giveaways all the time. I couldn't do giveaways if I tried, because people who always win the giveaways are always in America, and I can't afford the postage. And I won't do a giveaway saying, right, it's only for people in the UK, because it's a bit, you know. Oh, there's no airs and graces on me, Connie, no. Oh, thank you, only me. Yeah, I don't want to be something I'm not, if you know what I mean. I try not to be phony, if you get me drift. You know, when you watch somebody's channel and they say, oh, I'm making this, isn't it gorgeous? Where did they get that she from? She's so lovely. She's fantastic. And I'm like, oh gosh, no, I'm not in it for the money, no. It's a good job, isn't it? Because I never get any. Well, I do. Every now and again I get a smidgy bit. No, it's not my job, no. It must be hard, though, must be a pressure thing, you know, to have to supply. Oh, thank you, Shad. You know, to have to sort of think of something to say all the time, and to think of content for your channel all the time, and to have to design things all the time or give away things all the time. It must be very wearying. Yeah, I've got 32 likes, but there's 32 people in there. 12 more people have joined. Have you brought a crowd with you, Val? Have you brought a bus load in? No, I never did set out to make YouTube into a business. I never did, no. It just tickles me that I've got 7.4 thousand subscribers, and I had 7.5 subscribers 5 years ago. So they never grow. It's a good job I'm not bothered, didn't it? Otherwise I'd be very upset about the whole thing. But never mind. We're all friends on here. At least there's no drama. I can't be doing with channels where there's drama. You know, where people are backbiting and picking at each other and nitpicking and talking behind each other's backs. I can't be coping with all of that. You know, people in the past have said to me, oh, did you hear what such a body said about you? I went, no, I'm not interested. Aren't you going to go in and say something to them? I'm like, no. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion, you know. If they don't like me, then they don't like me. It's Val, by the way, Shad. She's using Eric's pseudonym. We haven't got Nathan in tonight, have we? No Nathan tonight. Where is he? He's probably playing with his tortoise, isn't he? He's got a new pet, a new tortoise. No, if I had any that aggravation on my channel, I'd give it up, I tell you. Couldn't be doing with it. You know, when people are arguing with each other and, oh, live and let live. I'm not confrontational. I just don't like joining in, you know, when you go on some people's channels and it's all confrontational. They're all arguing about stuff and arguing about politics, religion, and stuff like that. I think, oh no, life's too short. People are what they are. As long as they don't bother me, I don't bother them, you know. People can be whatever religion they feel like, you know, it doesn't worry me. I always say, as long as they don't try to convert me, you know, I don't mind, yeah. I just like people to feel comfortable coming on here if they've got different beliefs than I do. But tra-la-la, tra-la-la-la. What are we all watching at the moment? There's not much on telly, is there? Yeah, change your husband. I don't think Gary could be too happy if she changed her husband. She's had him for about 60 years. I think she's stuck with him now, Shad. Oh, dearie me. Our Rosie went for her injection yesterday. Only a normal injection, nothing untoward, just a booster jab. 40 quid. I tell you what, I should have been a vet, an electrician, a dentist, something. I should have been one of them. Never mind about wanting to be a crochet designer. I'm having a Coca-Cola. 61 years. Yeah, we're nearly right, weren't I? I said about 60. You were obviously a child bride, Val. No, it's too late to start breaking in another one, Val, you know. I think I did about 23 years, if I think about it. I've lost touch because I don't think about it. People say to me, how long have you been divorced? I said, you know, I can't remember. I don't keep dates like that in my head. I can't trot out a date, you know. Oh, it was such a date, and it was a Tuesday, you know. I just got divorced and I can't remember when, and I haven't got the paperwork, so I don't know. My ex-husband kept the paperwork. I haven't got my marriage certificate because that got given up when I got divorced, so. So I'll never do another silver wedding, will I? Well, I didn't do the first one. Oh. Tra-la-la. My mum did her golden wedding. I don't think she did 60. I can't remember. She might have done. But she didn't get married that young, my mum, so I think she did a golden wedding, but I don't think she did the 60. Because she was in her later 20s when she got married. Platform 17. I'll be watching Agatha Raisin tomorrow. It's very schmaltzy or whatever, but I like that kind of light entertainment. As long as you don't make me watch any reality TV shows, I'm fine. Can't stand them. And I'm not into quiz games either. Val will tell you I went and sat in the foyer when it was bingo. Well, I was 22 when I got married. Way too young. I was a very immature 22-year-old. I was like 22 going on 17 when I got married. Thought I knew it all, but obviously I knew nought. So it was all a big shock to me, getting married. Should have stayed at home with my mum. I've got no pictures that show you how you start the next bit. Better go wrong when I have to start the next bit. Oh God, yeah, he's somebody else's problem. Oh, she's put up with him for all. She's put up with him for longer than I did. I'm not sure whether she was desperate or what. Or whether he calmed down. I've no clue. Not my problem. What do they say? Not my monkeys, not my zoo or something. What is it? Any video of who online? Oh, for the pattern? No, I've not looked. Oh, I can't see she'd do a tutorial, would she? The heck? She wants her 11 quid for the pattern, doesn't she? People who charge that much for the pattern don't want to do videos and give it away for free. No, it isn't so much the pattern, Connie. It's the fact I can't get the gauge. She must be a very, very loose crocheter. Very sloppy crocheter. That's all I can say. I thought I was loose, but blimey. As my mum would have said, you can drive a bus through her crocheting. I'm probably having to do another set of pineapples. She's only got like three sets going down. I'll probably have to do about 5 pineapples to get mine long enough. And I'm not a tight crochet, so God help anybody who is. Oh no, if anybody asked me to make them, what I'd say, no. Not for all the tea in China. To be honest, I've not seen many people. Well, the tea in China, yeah. Most of it comes from India anyway, doesn't it now? I think, or Sri Lanka or somewhere. I don't drink tea, so I don't know. Before I knew I was pregnant, I just went off the taste of tea. And I didn't understand why until I found out I was pregnant. And my son's 54, 55 in January, and I still can't touch tea. Don't even like the smell of tea. It makes me feel sick. I've tried all different kinds of tea. I've tried the fruit teas, the herbal teas, the every kind of tea. But no, I can't drink tea. Can't even smell tea, let alone drink it. So I've not drunk tea since I was 23. It's the last time I drank tea. Right. I've done. I don't crochet that fast. Have you watched some of them other people that crochet? There you go. You can see it. Which way do I go? So you can see it against white. Have you watched Star Lily Creations? She crochets like a rate of knots. She's like, it's like she speeded it up. Yeah. What blimey? Call blimey. It means it's just an expression of what a surprise. Call blimey. Look at that over there. Ooh wee. That's what blimey means. You might say surprise, surprise. We would say, oh blimey, look at that. Yeah. Right. I've no idea what row I'm on now. Yeah, I never knew that. It's for God blimey. I didn't know that. I just say call blimey. Or call love a duck. It's got nothing to do with ducks, by the way. Call love a duck. Right, which row have I just done? I've just done that one. Right, I'm on this one now. Row 11. Chain 4, 8 double, 8 treble in the next 3 chain space. Why don't you give me a picture? I know what I'm doing. I want a picture. You've given me pictures of everything else, but you've not given me pictures of this. Right. Right, I'm doing the 8 in the middle of that. Right, I think. Oh. Why don't you give me a chart, love? I don't know what I was doing. I think I'll have to have a crisp. Chip, whatever you want to call them. I think this is just going to get started when I can concentrate. Because I've got to start another row of pineapples, which I'm not going to do. I don't know whether the sleeves are done. Let's have a look where the sleeves. Optional adding sleeves. Oh, God, you've got to crochet them on. You've got to crochet the sleeves on. I'd rather do the sleeves separate and stitch them in. Oh. Oh, blimey. Let's have a look at what they look like on the picture. Oh, for goodness sake. I think I'll do the sleeves separate and stitch them in. I don't like all the weight, you know, the weight of all the garment while you're going round trying to crochet the sleeves onto it. I'd rather crochet them separately and stitch them in. They're obviously top down because that's the way, because you've got pineapples for the cuffs. Oh, maybe I could start a sleeve while I'm faffing about. But I shall have some crisps while I'm thinking about it. Well, I think Chrissy's got swallowed up in the post office. We lost a parcel the other day. Anyway, we got our money back for it and we sent it off again. We got another thing this morning saying they got a parcel at £1.50 short on it. It's probably somebody sent to my son or daughter-in-law Christmas card or something. They put a stamp on it, or they forgot to put a stamp on it or something. Mm. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I've got some more colours in this boho spirit. Hey Nathan, where have you been? We just said where have you been? You've been playing with your tortoise. Chris went to the post office and we've not seen him since. Wonder if Cassie's got over her COVID yet. That's not like you, Nathan. You're usually the first one in. You and Chris. I never see notifications either, Nathan. Not for me and not for anybody else. They used to send you an email, didn't they, at one time, saying such a body's got a new video out. Well, I have to go into my subscriptions now to find out if anybody, and then even then, they don't tell me everybody. I like knitted garments, but I prefer to crochet. You're watching the Royal Family, are you? They're still funny, aren't they, after all these years? Knitted are more together, if you know what I mean. And they wash better, knitted things. Crochet can be a bit loose and a bit floppy. I have trouble with my shoulder and my arm though when I knit, so that's probably why I don't knit much these days. I do prefer crochet because it's a lot faster. I get very frustrated with knitting. You know, you knit for all the evening. Yeah, the book I was talking about, The Glorious Crochet Sweaters, yeah. My friends managed to get one. Haven't you, Val? I've made loads out of that book. I've made nearly every cardigan that they've got in there. Some of them have got knitted cuffs, not all of them. But that doesn't make any difference. You can always crochet the cuffs. You don't have to knit them. I think one or two have got knitted cuffs, but not everyone. But all you've got to do is crochet, you know, front post, back post, rib instead. I tend to put the cuffs on afterwards. I tend to do the body and the sleeves and everything, and then when it's all stitched together, then I will do the bottom band, you know, and then the neck button band and everything. I don't put knitted cuffs on anything. Oh, people moan about anything. I don't think they do. There might be an odd one that does. That's what I like about people. They can't adapt. You know, that's the whole point about making your own stuff. Adapt is the word. That's a wonder she wasn't moaning because it was in English or something. Oh, God, because she can't knit. How pathetic. You've been reading it, haven't you, Val? Are they all knitted, the cuffs? I didn't think they were. I used to get moaned at if I did a review of a book and the crochet was in English. I used to get moaned at. I can't do it because it's English. Can't do it. It's a waste of time me buying this book. And I'm like, well, I have to buy American books. I have to, you know, sort them out, don't I? You know, can't all pander to everybody, can we? You know what my grandma would say when people said they can't do it? When I was little, I used to say, I can't do it, Grandma. She used to say, can't means won't try. I used to get really frustrated with her. But I can't do it, Grandma. I've tried, I can't do it. She used to say, well, try a bit harder. And then if you really can't do it, come to me and I'll show you how to do it. But it's no good saying to me, I can't do it, Grandma. Can't means you won't try. I have to admit, yeah, there's no such word as can't, you. People go through their life saying, oh, I can't crochet. Oh, I can't knit. I couldn't do that. Oh, no. You sit and Your dad used to say that, yeah. Can't means won't try, yeah. I mean, obviously, you know, if somebody's asking you to lift a 15-ton weight or something, then, you know, you can't do that, can you? But by and large, you know, can't means, you know, people say I can't cook. It just means they won't try. I couldn't cook when I got married. Never even cooked anything in my life. I just armed myself with a cookbook and taught myself how to cook. Started off small and worked my way up, you know. I could have gone through life saying, oh, I can't cook. Well, there was no way about it, you know. I was on my own and I just had to learn, you know. I won't say I was the world's best cook I ever was, but at least I used to try. Got things stuck in my teeth now. No, a lot of patterns are a combination of knitting and crocheting. But I'm not a firm believer in, you know, oh, I'm only a crocheter, or I'm only a knitter, or I'm only this. Ooh, I can't do that. Ooh, can't do that. You should say you prefer. You know, I do knit, but I prefer to crochet. I'm not saying I don't knit. Or I'm not saying I won't knit. I'm just saying I prefer to crochet. Only because it's easier on my hands and my shoulders. But I do like knitting, and I do like the look of knitting. It's only since I've got older I have problems with my shoulders and my hands that I find it difficult to knit more than I find crochet. But yeah, I will. Oh, I'm liking these little gloves. A little furry. Look at the furry. I got them off eBay. Wish I'd have got more now. They're just the right length and they're all nice and fuzzy and warm. And they've got enough room, like, for me to knit and crochet with the ends of my fingers. Hey! Well, with the crochet, put my teeth in and start afresh. With the sleeves, I'll just have to do a chain and hope that there's enough to go around. I'm not going around the armhole. It'd be too heavy if I've got all the jacket hanging on the end of my armhole. You can easily go sleeveless with this. If you want to add to sleeves, it's up to you. Right. Attach your yarn at the top of any fan and go along doing 3 chain. Oh, really? It is quiet, yeah. Chris has gone to the post office. I've not seen him since. I think he's got swallowed up in the post office. The pineapple pattern for the sleeves measures about 7 inches. Well, it does when you do it, love, but it won't when I do it. You can add or remove rows of fans before beginning the pineapple pattern to achieve your perfect sleeve length. Oh, whoopee. Why don't you? Oh, here we go again. Tell me about this. It's half time for you, is it right? I never understood American football, even when my son used to play it. I could never understand the rules. Like, I don't understand English football, soccer, or whatever you want to call it. I have no idea how many sleeves I should crochet on for the sleeves. I should just do some chain and see if it measures. American football's a bit more like our rugby, isn't it? Because in rugby they pick up the ball and run with it. But in soccer, football, English football, they just kick it. They're not supposed to touch it with their hands unless they're the goalkeeper, of course. I printed that Baker Boy hat out. I want to make that. She's called Craft with a Cuppa. Craft and a Cuppa, sorry. I've got a lot of oddments in Aaron. So that's what I want to make. She does a free YouTube video, by the way, but I like a pattern. No, there's 27 pages, Lydia, and there's no gauge swatch. It's all done in rows and there's no gauge swatch. I would have thought that was obvious. Yeah, well, she's got a free YouTube. I paid for the pattern, but she's got a free YouTube video, if you can find it. It's done in Aaron. It's an English pattern in Aaron. Well, it would be your 4 weight, I suppose, if you're in America. 6mm hook. Roughly 87 grams of all different colours, yeah. Yeah, the short ones. I like the one she's just done, that sweater all in bright colours. She's done it in a single colour as well, and that looks quite nice. Yeah, she shows you lots of different, how to do the colours. The page I didn't print was like other people who've made a pattern. It's like a page with all different ones on, but I didn't bother printing that page. Peaked brim optional. Yeah, that pick and mix top, I like that. I also like it done in a single colour. It's got pineapples on the ends of the sleeves, and it's telling me to do the sleeves and leave 7 inches for the pineapples. But I mean, I would need to leave less than that because my pineapples aren't as long as that. Yeah, there's pineapples on the end of the sleeves. But she's saying 7 inches, but it only looks like 1 pineapple. I've got some gorgeous. I still got that yarn from Daniel, but it's only 20-gram ball. I'm never quite sure what the heck I'm going to do with it. I think that's the end of the sleeve. Yeah, I've got all that wool that Daniel gave me. It's lovely and soft, beautiful, but it's only 20-gram balls. And it's all like different colours, and I just really kind of don't know what I'm going to make with it. You don't want to make something rubbishy, do you? Because it's lovely. Soft, it's like a cashmere kind of yarn. But I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I certainly don't want to make socks. I've looked up what you make with 20-gram balls, and they're nearly all making shawls with them. Knitted shawls at that, If if you Google like what to do with these 20 gram, you know, little skeins, it's kind of scarves really, or shawls or something. And I've got loads of shawls. There's only so many shawls you can wear, isn't there? I keep thinking, a sweater, and would you work it up with a sweater? I even bought some navy blue so I could put like navy in between all the colours. I'd get it out of the cupboard and I keep thinking, I'm going to do something with that. I'm going to do something with that. And then I put it back again. And I've had it about 2 years or more. But to me, they're like samplers, yeah. Oh, Sheila's got another video up. Did you see that, Val? My friend's daughter has only been crocheting less than 2 years, and she just made that for her mum. Look at that. Oh, I like the bedroom extension. I won't say it's made the bedroom any warmer, but it's somewhere that to dry the washing, and it's somewhere to put. I've got my sewing machine in the house now, and I've got my Dolly's house in the house now. It's right. Let me look at me. Where's me? Me, 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 me. Right, look for your pictures. Here we have photos. Photos. Tra-la-la-la-la-la. Oh, I've not worn that sweater. Made a purple sweater. Oh, this is beautiful. I've not tried to knit with it, yeah, but it is beautiful. I'm trying to find the picture of it. Picture me. I sold that one. I want to make another one. That cardigan in the middle. I sold it, but I want to make another one. For me. I've still got that. Ooh, I haven't worn it, but I haven't sold it either. One lady said to me, oh, she said it probably would have been all right if you used more neutral colours. I was like, ugh. That's the whole point. That's the whole point of it. It's a Frida Kahlo. It's not supposed to be beige. Picture me. I was wearing my hat. Oh, it's gone. I was wearing my hat yesterday on the seafront because it was blinking cold. Picture me a telephone number. I haven't done anything with that yarn either. Isn't it gorgeous? That one there in the there. It's a Halloween one. Oh, some people are old. I tell you, I have one beige cardigan and I absolutely loathe it, but I made it because it only goes with one particular dress. And every time I wear it, everybody's, oh, isn't that gorgeous? And I'm like, ugh. Do you really think that? I'm wasting my time if you really think that. Picture me. Can't find the colours, but I did sell that one. I think that was gorgeous. Ooh, let me see it. Did sell that. That's the one everybody loves. It's so gorgeous. I love it. Ugh. I wear it when I have to because it's the only thing that goes with one particular dress. And I only ever wear it when I wear that dress. Because I'm not wearing it apart from that. All my cardigans went to America, if you remember rightly. I've got one of those. I love that one. I've got one. Oh, I don't like beige cardigans, Lydia. I'm sorry, but I don't. You wear beige when you're dead. That's my dolly's house that I'm going to paint purple because I ain't painting it pink. And that's what I made for Sue. She loves it. That's the one I want to make another one of. Not in beiges. That's beige for Sue. She likes beiges and greys and greens, sorry. Picture me. Why can I not find that wool from Daniel? It's further up, obviously, because I'm up to Mountside now. I think I've lost a lot of weight, don't you? That was me before I moved here. Daniel was on last week, actually. He came and said hello last week. I think he's given up the dyeing now. I think he's working now. His yarn's lovely, though. Got to give people the due. Well, I can't find it. I know I had a picture of it, but I don't know where it's gone. Oh, there it is. Told you I had. That's what I got. Oh, you can't. Those are the colours. But I've wound them into balls, but I'm just not quite sure what I want to do with them. Hi, lovely crafting lodge. How you doing? I've got some more of this yarn in the shed in different colours. Going to make myself another. And that's 2 more skeins of hand-dyed yarn I've got in the shed somewhere. Hello, Jacqueline. Half-witted postal workers. Oh, yeah, we're having a lot of trouble around here with them. Personally, touch wood, I've not had trouble with them, but a lot of people are not getting things delivered. Yeah, that was the blanket I made, the one and only. Won't be doing any more. Can't be doing more blankets. Everybody to their own. If you like doing blankets, that's fine. But I don't like doing blankets. Yeah, that's one colour I've got in the shed of the boho. Yeah, I've got lots of stuff like in the shed I need to get sorted. That's the kind of stuff my friend in Scotland does. I have not got the patience for that, none at all. Isn't it gorgeous? I wish I did have patience, but I don't. I thought I took a picture of my room extension, but obviously I haven't. Obviously not. Very remiss of me, very remiss. Mm-hmm. Gosh, when I look at all these things, and most of them have gone to America. That's where most of my things finished up, in America. No, for some reason or other, I haven't. I did a video of my extension room, but I didn't do any still photographs. Yeah, I think crochet blankets, my opinion is once you've got one, unless there's more of you in the house that want the blanket, what do you do with all the rest? You know, I see people who've got 10, 12 blankets, and I'm like, ah, you know, how many blankets do you need? You know, unless you're cold and you want them all piled on your bed. God, your post office is worse than ours. The one I have here isn't too bad, actually. They're quite quick. The one I had in Prestwich, oh my goodness me. They had the slowest staff in the West, the one in Prestwich. You could be stood in line forever, ever, ever. Hello, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Nene or Neen? Hi, anyway, hello. Not quite sure how you pronounce your name, but hello anyway. It is Neen. Well, hello, Neen. Oh, dear. Well, I've run out of steam now. I've run out of something to crochet. I don't feel like trying to start, you know, the other part of the um, pineapple. I don't think I can concentrate on starting a pineapple while I'm on here. So I think that's going to have to stay until tomorrow when I'm on my own to start the rest of that sleeve off. No, the rest of the pineapple off, not the rest of the sleeve. Hmm, she said. Hmm. When I had my cough, it lasted forever. They sent me for x-rays, they sent me for everything. And I still swear it was that COVID injection that gave it me. Oh, I've told everybody I'm not doing presents this year, Chris. Not doing them. I'm glad you said fat, Esther. That's the word I like. I do not like obese. I like the word fat. That's what I say. I said that to the doctor. I said, I'm fat. And he said, I'm not allowed to say that you're fat. Well, I don't know whether I had mine 100 days. I had it a long time. That flipping cough, if you remember. I sounded like a sea lion calling for fish. Arr, arr, arr. My daughter-in-law had one at a similar time. She was the same. I could hear her coughing downstairs. When she was coughing upstairs, I could hear her go, arr, arr, arr. Took forever. Yeah, I've got knitted scarves under the bed. You've got a bed that goes up and over. I've got so many knitted scarves, I can't bring them all out. I've got them underneath the bed. I shall rotate them when I get fed up with the ones I've got out. I'll bring some more out. Oh dear. As I said, there's only so many hats and scarves you can wear, isn't there? I've got some gorgeous purple, chunky merino that I got given for my Secret Santa. I think it was 2 Christmases ago. There isn't enough to make a hat and scarf set, but there's enough to make a hat and cowl or a hat and a mini scarf. And I keep thinking, I'm going to get that out because I want to make it tightly knitted so that the wind won't go through it, yeah. Because if you knit or crochet on quite loosely, the wind just whips through here. My dad always used to say it's a lazy wind. It doesn't go round you, it goes straight through, yeah. That's what it does here. The wind from the sea goes right through your ears. So I need to... I've got a lovely purple coat with a hood, but the hood's so big, it just blows off. It's not warm. So it needs a hat underneath to hold the hood on, yeah. Either that or I'd put 2 ribbons or strings on the hood to hold it together, because it just... might look glamorous when you're walking, but it's no use when you're driving on a scooter. I've got my full length coat I haven't worn yet. It hasn't got a hood, you see, that's the problem. That's why I don't wear it. I've got a full length coat, double-breasted, a wool green coat. So I should drag that out. I cannot get in the mood, Shad, at all this year for Christmas. I've not got one present. I've not bought one present for anybody. I bought myself a skirt and a pair of trousers, but I've not bought. I'm going to have a go, Lydia, at gently steaming it when I get the steamer out. I don't mean steaming it, just waving the steamer over it, just to try and stop the ends from curling up, yeah. I'm sure it'll flatten out eventually. I haven't taken that out of the bag, actually. It's still in the bag. I meant to bring it out of the bag. I'll never wear it if it's in the bag, will I? I got 2 other Christmas presents that I haven't unwrapped yet, so they're in the bag as well. So I put your scarf in. That why? I don't know, because I've already unwrapped it, haven't I? So why did I put your scarf in with the unopened Christmas presents? I don't know. Maybe it's because I want to treat it as a Christmas present. So I'll go, oh, surprise, surprise, Christmas morning when I open it. Yeah, you've got to be careful with acrylic, otherwise you can flatten it. It's what I call flatten it and ruin it. I did that once with a cardigan. I hot, not ironed it, but I put the steam too hot, too close, yeah, and it went all. And once acrylic goes, you never get it back again. You never get it back again. Once you've taken the bant, as my mum used to call it, once the bant's gone out of it. I'm not quite sure what bant is. It's something from the cotton mills. It means the stretch or the whatever. Oh yeah, it looks all right, Lydia. It's not that, no. I've got a steamer, a little hand steamer that I haven't used yet. I bought it and it's in my bedroom extension. I bought it because I can never find the iron. I never know where the iron is and the ironing board is. And when I take a dress out of the wardrobe, it can have a wrinkle or two in it and I think, I'm not ironing it. It'll drop out. But I just bought a little hand. It looks a bit like a hairdryer. So I thought, oh, I'd just give things a little steam just to get the big wrinkles out of things, yeah. Because I'm not using the tumble dryer at the moment. We're trying to economise. So I'm drying things on the clothes area. So they do, you know, this dress I've got on. Oh, you can't see it, can you? I wear these dresses, you know, the plain dresses. But when you wash them, they go a bit wrinkly. So, oh, look, it's doing it again, this flipping sweater. It gets wrinkles across the bust. It's going to really annoy me, this sweater. I wouldn't mind I used a pattern. Should have made my own up. I would have done better. But no, I thought I'll do a top-down one. And it just goes into a big wrinkle across the bust. How annoying. And I don't like the back of it because where you join it, where your rows are joined as you go round and round, can you see there's like a line all the way down it? In the middle of the back somewhere? It's because I'm using stripy wool. I think it looks ugly. But it broke there. Instead of breaking at the raglan where it would have been less noticeable, the pattern broke it in the middle of the back. Probably would have been fine if I'd have been using a single colour. But because I was using a stripy yarn, it just looks a mess to me. And I'm like, plus the fact the pattern told you to go and then go back the other way and then go back the other way. If I'd have gone round and round and round, I wouldn't have had that problem, would I? But no, she follows a pattern, and when she follows a pattern, it all goes pear-shaped. I should just do my own thing. I really should. Or do a pattern that's in pieces and you stitch it together, not round and round and round. How bizarre, how bizarre. I need to go to my friend. It's only around the corner. Her granddaughter was coming up for Christmas, but my friend's not been well, so she's cancelled the family coming up for Christmas. So that means that the sweaters I've made that she doesn't know I've made, she needs to post them. So I'm going to have to nip them round to her house. She's only around the corner, but I'm so lazy these days. I just don't want to go out in the cold. But I need to go out on Monday because it'll be the last day probably at the library before Christmas. Because most of the knit clubs have stopped for Christmas. But I think the library's still there on Monday. And the other knit club is having the last one on Wednesday. So I really need to go to that one. If it's raining, I won't be going though. I'm just such a wimp these days. Although I do need to go to Cleveland because I want to go to Marks and Spencer's. I don't know. Do you turn into a hermit when it's cold weather? I do. I'm such a wimp. Such a wuss. Man, you've probably all got cars. You probably drive somewhere, don't you? And just have to walk into the shop. Whereas I have to batter my way down the seafront on my little scooter. I've got so many layers on, I feel like an onion. I've got an underskirt on. I've got my long sleeve dress on. I've got my pullover on. I've got my tights on, well, leggings underneath my dress. And I've got the fire lit, so I'm just about warm. Oh, the fire must have gone out because the fan's not going round. Never mind, I'm warm enough anyway. I'll be going to bed very soon. Yeah. My son asked me for me You're a definite hermit, are you, Kath? So am I. Oh, I've gone worse as I've gone. Yeah, you feel the breeze, don't you, Chris? It sort of goes through you. It's like your legs are freezing when you're on a scooter or a wheelchair. I mean, I've actually raked my blanket out, put my blanket over my legs because you just get so cold. It's not as bad with this scooter because it's got like this, the front on, so the wind that comes in your face doesn't come in your face anymore, but it comes in at the sides, yeah. Because I don't like putting the sides down because you feel as though you're in a bubble. You feel like you're claustrophobic. It's just shut up. I do like the sides down when it's raining, when I've had a chance to put them down before I set off. But it's a design fault. You have to get off the scooter to put the sides down. So, oh God, the wind is freezing in Blackpool. It's worse in Fleetwood, I tell you. Breezy on the prom is the word, yeah. The thing about Fleetwood is there are no shelters anywhere, yeah. Ooh. Sorry, Chris, I shouldn't laugh. I hope you enjoyed the chocolates. I was wearing that green fuzzy hat, yeah, the other day. Oh, you can just see my eyes. And I wouldn't mind, but I had sunglasses on because the sun was so low. I had sunglasses on so you couldn't see anything. Yeah, you got me when I was drinking. Yeah, I had my fuzzy hat on. It's fuzzy like that. And it comes over my nose. And I had my sunglasses on because the sun was low. So I must have looked a right sketch going down the seafront. At least I'd be incognito. If I was a star, nobody would have known it was me, would they? If I was famous, yeah. I don't know. If I was Captain Fantastic. I used to be a social butterfly, Shan. But since I've got older, I feel the cold so much. Yeah, I've got a bright yellow blanket that I made to go to Harmony and Health because yellow was their colour, which I absolutely loathe. I mean, this ick yellow. So I'd made a blanket because we used to sing outside and it was blooming cold. Anyway, I gave away the T-shirt and I gave away the zipper because I knew I'd never wear them again. But I kept the blanket because I thought the blanket might come in handy. Anyway, it does, yeah. Fleetwood has a very old-fashioned indoor market, yeah. It caters to the elderly. The old-fashioned fleecy nighties and pyjama brigade, the old-fashioned cardigan and anorak brigade it caters for. There is absolutely nothing fashionable that remotely goes into Fleetwood Market. It has a wool store, well, an acrylic store, yeah. But if you want anything remotely fashionable, you wouldn't find it in Fleetwood Market, no. I very rarely go, actually. They run coach trips. People come on coaches. Charabangs to see it, yeah. They have a nice little sort of cafe that does like little toasty things. But I can't get in my scooter, you see, that's my problem. My scooter's too big because the alleyways are so narrow, I can't get in. So I've got to walk when I get in, so I have to I used to be able to take my walker on my other scooter, but I can't take it with me on this one. There's nowhere to hang it. So I have to go in with a walking stick or, you know, my crutches. So that's why I don't go in anymore. I don't like walking around anymore because it kills me back. So that's one reason why I don't go to Fleetwood Market anymore. They're doing it up anyway. I don't know if they finished doing it up. They were putting a new roof on it at one stage. So half of it was closed off. Yeah. And you have to go with cash because they don't take cards on Fleetwood Market. So they have a cash machine in there, but it costs you £2, I think, to draw any money out. Because I made that mistake of not taking cash with me. And none of them take cards. They only do cash only. Well, it's accessible to anybody with a mini scooter, a little scooter, yeah. Oh, the candle's spitting. If you had a small scooter, but don't forget I've got a huge scooter with a lid on it, you know. That's like a battering ram, really. You wouldn't be able to get down the narrow. I could get on my other little scooter, I could get in. I didn't. I used to take my walker. Yeah, they only take cash. Anywhere you go takes cash, yeah. Yeah, you could take a little tray with you, something on it for sale, couldn't you? Used to be matches in the old days, didn't it? They used to sell matches, yeah. I need one of them little, you know, them little fold-up carts you see them put kids in, don't you, or dogs in. They've got like wheels on and they fold up, don't they, when you put them in the shed or somewhere. I need one of those that I can pull behind me. Somebody who's got a scooter's actually got one, got a dog thing that they pull behind them with two little old elderly dogs in. And they've got them hooked up on the scooter. But you see, my scooter's got this perspex thing over it, so there's nowhere to hang anything. Like I used to hang my walker. You know, I had a fold-up walker. I used to hang on the back of my scooter with a bungee strap. But I can't do that with this scooter. I've got nowhere to put it. Hey. So that's why I don't go to the Fleetwood Market. Plus, in this kind of weather, I won't go. Oh, God, I won't go anywhere in this weather, yeah. Yeah, I could have that. Driver doesn't carry any cash. The only time I feel vulnerable is when I take my folding scooter and I go to Blackpool. There's that many panhandlers and beggars and everything in Blackpool. I feel very vulnerable because I'm very low down. I'm all right if I'm with somebody, like, you know, somebody walking shotgun. But I feel very vulnerable when I'm on my own. Plus the fact Blackpool has got these ornate cobbles everywhere. Very pretty, unless you're on a little scooter, then you're everywhere you go. Yeah. So I would have to go quite a distance to catch the tram into Blackpool, which I don't do. Yeah. I don't know why, I just don't like going to Blackpool. Yeah. I need to go to Affinity, really. That's the only decent place where there's any shops in Fleetwood. It's like an out-of-town kind of shopping complex, yeah. I don't go into Blackpool at all. I've only been to Blackpool twice since I moved here in 3 years. I don't watch Strictly, so I never went to Blackpool then. No. It's freezing up here. It's much colder here than it is in Manchester. When I went back to Manchester for that weekend, I kept saying, oh, so warm, so warm. And my niece kept saying, no, it's not warm. I said, it is. I said, it's boiling. I've got a piece of loose skin on my fingers driving me mad. Yeah, I was so warm when I was there. It was such... Yeah, been 3 years, December 19th, in 3 days. We moved here 3 years ago. 19th of December we moved. What a day to move into. What? 6 days before Christmas. And it was blowing freezing. The central heating wasn't working. The windows were rattling because they had metal windows in. The wind was rolling through and I was crying. So what on earth have we moved here for? I want to go. I don't want to stay. I presume so, yeah. I presume they're still in there. The buyers of my old house, yeah. There's a WhatsApp group, for my street, but they've never joined it. And when I ask people, on my street that I knew, say, do you ever see thy people in my house? And they say, no, we never see them. Keep themselves to themselves and they never join in anything. And my street was a lovely, friendly street. Everybody knew everybody and everybody helped everybody. That is what I miss so much here. I miss the camaraderie, the friendliness of everybody on the street. I knew all the people, I knew all the dogs and the cats, and everybody used to wave as they went by. And, I miss all of that. It's just not the same around here at all. Not friendly at all. I keep saying come summer, I'm going to get a bench. And how long did I live there? 54 years I lived there. 54 years. If it hadn't been for my falling and my not being able to look after the house, I would never have moved. I always said they'd have to carry me out of there in a coffin because I wasn't going to move. I loved that house. It was so convenient and the view was great from the back. I had the church at the back, all the trees and the greenery and everything. And I come here and it's blooming freezing. And all it is the concrete jungle over here. I live near trees and grass and flowers. There's not a thing around here. It's barren. And there's no shops. That's what gets me. There's no shops anywhere. No proper shops. You have to go miles to get a cup of coffee here. Where I lived before, it was a real cafe culture. You only had to go up the street and you could choose any kind of cuisine. You could, you had Thai, you had Chinese, you had Greek, you had Italian, all within a quarter of a mile of where I lived. I could go up any morning and have my breakfast in any of the cafes, have lovely coffee and cake and that and stuff. Oh, there's just nothing around here. Nothing. The cafe I go to in 3 years, it's never changed its menu. And it's pretty crap anyway. Oh. You would just love a nice... It was quite big downstairs, yeah. There was no bathroom downstairs, though. There was only a toilet downstairs. There was no... I thought about putting a shower, but there was nowhere to put a shower. And a stair lift, I couldn't have a stair lift because my stairs went up and then round. I couldn't have a stair lift. I thought about that. Oh, they love it here. I just don't like it. I'm trying my hardest to like it. I'm liking it a little bit better than I did when I first arrived, but I still don't really like it. If I could turn back time, I'd go back in a heartbeat. I really would. They keep trying to tell me, oh, Prestwich isn't like it was. Prestwich has gone downhill. It's a tip. It's this, it's that. But I tell you, I go back there. I've never been warm since I moved here. I've been cold since I moved here. You know, you're fed up of just freezing every time you go out the door, you know. All my summer dresses, I've never worn one of them without a cardigan since I moved here. I used to sit out on the deck at the back of my house, just a little cotton dress on, no cardigan, no anything. Me and the dogs used to sit there all summer long. Yeah. But not here. There's no view here. I miss the trees. I miss the greenery. People here don't have gardens. Well, they do, but they're all paved over. You know, I miss the flowers and the gardens, and all my street had gardens, you know, they had lawns and flowers and gardens, and here there's no gardens. And like you go down the seafront, there isn't one bush, one shelter. There's not one shelter. There's somewhere to sit, yeah. But if you get stuck in the rain or anything like that, there is no not bush shelter, but there's no shelter anywhere. Anywhere between here and Fleetwood, there is one little shelter, I think. But that goes up a step, so you couldn't go up it in your scooter. Yeah, you'd have to leave your scooter and sit like in the shelter, if you know what I mean. But there's nowhere. You know, I can remember when I was younger, you know, that Blackpool and places like that used to have shelters where little old dears used to sit and look at the sea underneath the shelter. But no, I don't know why there's no shelters. You know, I mean, the weather's dire most of the time. I'm sure they would attract more holidaymakers if they could shelter from the rain, you know. Oh, that decking. I don't half miss that decking. And all my flowers and everything, yeah. I used to sit on that decking all day long, listening to the birds. Here we have squawky seagulls, that's all we have. Did have 2 magpies the other day and 4 squirrels. And I used to have the church bells on a Sunday morning, ringing the church bells every Sunday morning. And on I think it was Wednesday evening, they used to do the practice here. It was lovely to hear the bells. Oh, well, can't change anything now. Tell you, if I win that lottery, I'll be off. My son was trying to persuade me to go to live in Spain, but I don't want to. For all the weather, I like England, but I just don't like the weather here. I'm just looking if I've won. 2 unread emails. Does it tell me I've won? No, it doesn't. I've got a comment on a very old... oh, it's Dawny. She was looking at my little video when poor little Gigi got attacked by that staffy. Yeah, my poor little Gigi. I've not seen his counterparts. They've got 2 dogs now. They've got a brother and a sister. Chihuahuas that they adopted after Gigi passed away. They were going to come last year, but they picked the wrong day. They said, could they come? But it was Tram Sunday. So we had family coming up to Tram Sunday, not last year because they cancelled it last year, but the year before it was Tram Sunday. And we had people staying and everything. And I said, yeah, I had to put them off. I know it sounded as though I didn't want them to come, but I couldn't have had them, you know, to call because I wasn't in. And also we had family coming to watch Tram Sunday. But last year they had to cancel it because the weather was so bad. Right, Lydia, you enjoy yourself, yeah? I've got a split on the end of my thumb. Do you ever get them splits? They're really sore, aren't they? When your skin splits right on the end. I'll have to put some antiseptic on that and put a band-aid on it. Otherwise it's going to be really sore, that. I don't know why it's split. Dry skin, I suppose, isn't it? At least I'm not crocheting wool. I'm allergic to crocheting wool. I get all this like dermatitis, contact dermatitis on my fingers when I crochet with wool. I'm not on my own. Crochet Roxy's the same. She can't use anything that's wool. It breaks out her fingers. I don't know whether it's the dye in the hand dye yarn. I never used to be allergic to wool. I can't wear it because it makes me itch, but I never used to be allergic to actually crocheting or knitting with it. But I think it's this hand-dyed stuff that, you know, the dye that they put in it that gives me contact dermatitis. Maybe they don't rinse out the dye properly, I don't know. I must knit some more socks, although I don't really wear them, but I've got loads of sock yarn in the shed. I must do something. I've got that lovely sort of one I got the other last year, that Halloween that's all bright colours. Nice pair of jazzy. I was going to make some arm warmers, but I keep losing them. So it would, you know, I paid £20 for this skein of yarn. I would hate it if I lost them. Put them down somewhere and lost them. You know, these cheap ones at a couple of quid, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure they could get Alan Titchmarsh. He's a gardener that could find some plants that could work well, that they could put some planters, actually on the seafront, some planters with some kind of bushes or something in them. I mean, they've rejigged all the seafront. They could do something. If it was only concrete planters, they could put some, I'm sure there's some bushes that live by the sea. I know they couldn't put flowers or daffodils or out like that, yeah. I used to joke with my friends saying we go along this pathway that's, you know, just pathway. I said, I'm going to start getting some seeds, you know, and as I'm going along on my scooter, I'm going to start scattering and hoping some of them start to grow. You know, if I could get some hardy plants, yeah. Some wildlife type plants, you know, that butterflies and things like, yeah, and just start scattering them as I'm going along, throwing them either side. Yeah. Still. And I'm going to go in a few minutes because I'm getting sleepy. The eyes are going. I can feel them going. And I'm not doing any more crochet. I need to concentrate to start on the next lot of pineapples. And concentration is what I'm not doing at the moment. I need to go in the shed, actually, but it's so cold. It's so cold. It's too cold to go in the shed. I should go in half an hour beforehand and switch on the heater, which I always forget to do. But it's untidy in there because I've dumped a load of bags in there. Dumped a load of bags when I should put them away when I go in there, but it's so cold I just go in, throw them in and come out again. Oh, that's my necklace envelope. It needs putting in the bin. Yeah, I do like that necklace. Would have gone with me. What I'm wearing, won't it? I need to sort my necklaces out as well. I keep buying, and it's nice to get rid of a few. I've got a friend who loves necklaces, so I might bequeath them down to her and let her have a look, circulate them round again. Oh, thanks, Kath. Thanks, Chris. Yeah, I'm going to be leaving you now. I know it's not quite the witching hour, but it's getting close, isn't it? And I'm going to put my heat pads in. My son pinched one of my heat pads, one that I plug in, because he's got a bad hip. And he said, have you got a heat pad, Mum? I went, well, I've got the one that you bought me. It's supposed to go around his shoulders, but I'm sure he can put it around his hip. So he's got that one. Yeah, we're all a bit tired, I think, aren't we? So next week will be the last one before Christmas, won't it? Next Saturday. Maybe we should all get prepared for a mince pie or something. Get in the Christmas spirit. I don't know what date it'll be. It'll be the 20-something, won't it? Hang on. Saturday. It'll be the 23rd next week, yeah. Yeah, we could all have a mince pie, couldn't we? And a little tot or something, yeah. Yeah. I won't sing carols. I won't put you all off, yeah. Before you all leave me, can you all put your thumbs in the air? Before you leave, make sure you've done that for me, yeah. A Vindaloo? Oh, God, no. Yeah, I bought me, well, it's not Bailey's, it's actually the cheaper version of Bailey's, but you know what I mean. We have to economise wherever we can, don't we? Yeah. Right, I'm going to love you all and leave you all and going up to bed now. So thank you very much for your company. And as I haven't won the lottery, I will see you all next Saturday. Okay. Bye now. Bye. Bye, Nathan, Chris, Esther, Denise, Kath, Munchkin, whoever else is here with me. Shad. Good night, everybody. Bye now.